It's been a long stretch on the road lately. After leaving my home province of Saskatchewan, I've been making my way across Alberta and British Columbia, slowly but surely making my way towards California for the winter. With so many miles behind me and plenty more ahead, I decided to park up here for a few days. This little mountain campsite has been the perfect reset. Crisp air, campfires, and views that make it hard to leave. Well, happy Thanksgiving to my Canadian friends at least, or I guess by the time this gets uploaded, it'll be happy belated Thanksgiving. And happy pre-Thanksgiving to my American friends. It's gonna be a really cold day today, a high of 10 Celsius. And I'm off to spend Thanksgiving with friends who live about 5 hours away tomorrow. So I think instead of just like being cold and staying in my van and trying to stay warm and hunker down today, I'm gonna go for a little drive and get some progress on my way to my friends and check out some sites along the way. I have a friend that works for Parks Canada, and she was just in the area and she told me about a really cool drive, scenic drive up a mountain that I might like, and I actually get special permission to drive it because of my disability, whereas most people would have to park and hike up to the summit. So I figure that's a good way to spend a cold day instead of just freezing my butt off at this campsite. So I'm off to visit Mount Revelstoke today. This is truly one of my favorite spots to camp in BC. I'm loving these fall colors in the trees.
Your 20s are for spending hours and hours pretending we have plans and we have places we should visit, but everybody knows your 20s are for wasting time. 'Cause you could be with anyone you wanted, you could take that job they offered and move down by the ocean, but I love the way when it's under mine. I don't want to take the world for granted while I'm still trying to understand it. The more I live, I am convinced everyone just wants to be in love.
So I just pulled into Hemlock Grove, which is just west of Rogers Pass on the #1 highway in British Columbia. And I've driven by here so many times and never stopped in. Usually I think it's early spring and it's still covered in snow and they have it closed off. But I was driving and it had like the wheelchair symbol even on the highway sign. So yeah, I finally figured I got time to stop in because I'm actually gaining an hour as I head west. So I'm actually pretty early to be getting to my destination. So perfect opportunity to stop in and see what this place is all about. So it's about a 1 kilometer boardwalk, nice and short. I'll just do it in my wheelchair and, you know, good to get some blood moving, staying warm, and have a little pee break here. I'm not sure what's up with this parking spot. It's like, you can see they have the blue paint there, but then it's like they changed their mind and we're like, no, we're gonna put a picnic table here, but left the paint. But whatever, I parked here anyways. Nobody's gonna box me in because the picnic table is blocking people from parking next to me, so it works out. This little front attachment of mine helps me get over rougher terrain, but yeah, the tire's a little low, so I'm gonna put some air in it. It's really low. Video doesn't do it justice, but that looks a little steep, but at least it's pavement, so I'm gonna attempt it. If I can't make it up, I think there's another route around here. Well, I tried. And honestly, the section that I was doing was not the steepest part. The steepest part is definitely right at the top. So I'm sure, since it is technically labeled accessible and all the signs, there's got to be another route. I found a much more gradual route up here, so that looks way more doable. Thank goodness, I was getting worried there. Coming up to quite a pavement crack here, which is tricky. You can see roots from the trees here, or just cold temperatures have really heaved this pavement. It goes all the way across the pathway. Normally it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but because I'm also going uphill, it's gonna make it extra hard to get up here, but I should be able to do it. I can't be too critical about that crack. I mean, it's just nature doing its thing, but it definitely is a tripping hazard, especially for people with low vision. So lush and beautiful in here, but yeah, it looks like it's all boardwalk, at least for the first part. That just zigzags through here, making me feel really small among these huge trees. You can just see my white van down there, so I've definitely climbed up as I came up the boardwalk. So it's not flat, but it's, you know, not too steep that I can't make it in my wheelchair. This is kind of cool, actually. They say, why do the roots of hemlock trees grow above ground, like in the image? So you can see, yeah, there's roots there from a different stump. And then the trees in the forest often start life on a stump or a log of a fallen tree. Here, there's an example of that. You can see there's actually a log that's fallen, and then that tree and maybe partially that tree have just grown from, yeah, the log that fell. Well, that's kind of cool. I normally don't pay any attention to these information signs, but yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. Who knew that roots could just grow from another log or stump? It's pretty beautiful in here though. Nice little stop on highway number 1. Good job, Parks Canada. Well, look what I found. A Parks Canada infamous red chair. Didn't think I'd see one here, but yeah, it's a pretty good lookout spot. Now for the fun part, it looks like it's all downhill, so I get to just enjoy the ride down. Oh man, look how dirty my pants have gotten. This is why I don't wear nice things. 1 little kilometer loop and I'm filthy. This turned out to be a nice little stopover. You know, minor accessibility things like the cracked pavement and the weird parking spot. Nothing that was insurmountable. So yeah, I'm glad I finally got the opportunity to stop in and see what was in this area. But now I'm gonna head on to Mount Revelstoke and see what trouble I can find there. Hey there. Good, how are you? My friend Sheer was just here. She works for Parks Canada and she's a wheelchair user. And she said that I can get a permit to drive. I'm also a wheelchair user, yeah, to drive up to the top. And I phoned the visitor center yesterday and they just said to tell somebody at the kiosk and they'd radio up.
Yeah, so today we do not have anyone at the top of the mountain, so we need to have someone at the top. Normally, like, between, like, you know, June and September we do.
Right.
It's just that this time of year we're very short staffed. So
right.
we don't actually have someone at the top.
Oh no, that's okay. Thank you. You too. Oh, can I have a map?
Yeah.
Thanks. That's bummer. So at the kiosk at the gate to the national park, they told me that yes, they do have, a permit that they can give people with disabilities to just drive up to the summit, but it's only available like in peak season in the summer, and it's mid-October right now, and so they don't have anybody actually working at the top that would be able to open the gate for me. So yeah, a little disappointed, but I guess that means I gotta come back in the summer and do the drive all the way to the top. I could potentially bike it, but I think that might be an endeavor. And I actually just dropped my bike off. I had it kind of remade, so they shortened the frame and took it all apart. So I don't think I'd want to try and tackle a solo mountain climb on my own. Just after having the bike rebuilt, I want to make sure I'm biking with somebody when I go out on my first long ride with it and test it out. So with my accessible parking placard, I can get a permit that would allow me to drive all the way up here to Heather Lake. That's where most people would not be able to drive. They'd have to hike, and there's apparently a really good lookout here, but since it's all closed up for the season, I'm gonna just see if I can find something else to do around here to explore. I drove up the mountain about 5 kilometers, and my friend Shira told me there's a really nice lookout point, so here I am at Monochet Lookout. And it looks like there's a little pathway that leads to a really cool viewpoint. So I guess I'm going to do that. This is pretty cool, a little picnic area. Overlooking Revelstoke. On a clear day, that would be a fantastic view of the mountain across. If I wasn't in a wheelchair, I could totally live in a mountain town like Revelstoke, but even though they get milder winters, I guess, less snow in the actual town sites, I don't know if I could do it. I just don't like snow. It's so hard to move my wheelchair around. If it wasn't raining, I might make lunch here, but I'm gonna go further up the mountain and see if I can find a nice pull-out or something to make lunch. Well, my ears just popped, so we're getting up there in elevation, probably at least 4,000 feet, maybe? I don't know, that'd be my guess. And it's raining, but it looks like their raindrops are actually snowflakes while they're in the air. They're still hitting the ground and turning to water, but I think if I go much higher, we're gonna be seeing some snow. Oh yeah, those are snowflakes. Or until they hit the ground. Well, I made it to the part where they close off the road, and like normally if things were open, I'd be able to continue to drive up because I have a disabled parking pass, but the snow is definitely coming down pretty good here, and it's sticking on the road. So I think this might be kind of a cool place to make lunch because I'm in the snow, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm not going to encounter snow all winter. That's the whole point of why I started van life so many years ago, was to get away from Saskatchewan winter. But yeah, it's kind of nice when you don't have to live in it. And so I think I'm just going to, pull over here and make some lunch and enjoy my last little taste of snow. Hopefully last taste of snow. You gotta admit, it is really, really pretty. I just don't want to live in this for 6 months out of the year in Saskatchewan anymore, and that's why I'm headed west and south. But I'm gonna make my lunch here and enjoy a little taste of this beautiful scenery. What's on the menu for today? Well, I'm gonna make some shrimp tacos because I got myself a new gadget. I got a little itty bitty air fryer, and I've had it for maybe a week or two, and I love it. I've only really had my stovetop and a slow cooker, so with this air fryer I can do things like baked potato, french fries, Obviously I don't have an oven, so I'm really excited for that. I made steak in it the other day and just threw broccoli with some Parmesan cheese. Wow. I'm really gonna like this little addition to van life. It does seem funny though to be making shrimp tacos, which, you know, I kind of equate as a summer meal by the ocean, but I'm making it in a snowstorm. But that's what I have and that's what I'm gonna make. Toss this in. $3.75 for like 7 or 8 minutes.
Somewhere on the front porch, surrounded by friends. Music playing in the kitchen, it's just loud enough to dance. The sun shines through the branches like a diamond in my hand. I see how lucky I am. Dinner's on the table, a few candles left to light. The stories we've been saving gonna take all night. The moon shines through the window like it's giving me a chance to see how lucky I am. Every high and low, every beat in my heart, every mile of road got me this far. The harder I try, the better it gets. I do it all for the days like this.
Oh yeah, those are looking good. Cheers to shrimp tacos in a winter wonderland. Well, I spilt taco sauce on my jeans too. I'm just a mess, like really. Good thing I could do laundry at my friend's place. Well, I made it to this really cool lookout point. It's pretty clouded over, but I imagine that would be quite the view on a clear day. Looks like there's a lake down there. And then I'd say a fire went through here not too long ago. Oh, it's really quite beautiful though. I love the mountains. I just love the fact that I've been in the mountains for the past week, and it's actually also my favorite time of year to be traveling because camp spots are almost empty. This park is pretty much empty. I haven't seen anybody else. So yeah, I can deal with some colder weather, and actually I'm super cozy right now. This vest that I've been wearing all day is actually electric, so it's got different settings. This is on high right now and it's keeping me nice and warm. It's made by GoKozy, and I've lived in this for the past week here in the mountains, and it's the first time I've ever owned a puffy vest. Like, I know, you know, that's the rage all across Western Canada and the US, but I've never owned one, and it looks pretty sharp too, so it's keeping me warm and cozy and looking good. I'm really glad I came up here and explored today instead of just hanging out at the camp spot or driving along. And it's all thanks to my friend Shira. It really says a lot to have another wheelchair user vouch for a place to go, and you know, they can say it's worthwhile. I've known Shira for about 20 years. We both played Team Canada wheelchair basketball way back in the day. And so to have her say, oh yeah, you should go there, really meant a lot, because otherwise you're kind of just guessing on whether it's going to be a meaningful experience to travel to a new area. So thank you, Shira, for recommending this, and it turned out to be a really nice day. Well, I'm fed, I'm warm, I've had exercise, and I could just drive closer to my friends tonight and get closer to where I'll be tomorrow. But what I might do is just drive back down the mountain and see if there's a spot at the campground here at the national park. My friend Shira said the shower is nice and accessible, so that way I'm not showing up at Thanksgiving supper tomorrow kind of smelling like a stinky van lifer. And I'll just have a nice quiet night and enjoy another national park, because it seems like that's what I'm on, a national park tour lately. I did end up getting a spot at the campground last night, and they warned me that the only spot available was not accessible. And you can see the fire pit and picnic table are down this steep hill, so really I'm just parked on the side of the road here, but that was fine by me. I just didn't even leave the van and just had a quiet night in a safe spot last night. Now time for a shower. This is the first time I've ever seen a timer for the lights in the shower. About a handful of times I've been sitting on the bench halfway through a shower and the lights go off and I'm in the pitch black because there aren't a motion sensor and the sensor is not in the stall, so I've just been sitting in the dark. And yeah, I like having a timer. It's more under my control, but still conserves energy. Having a truly accessible experience at a park felt like a small gift before heading off to Thanksgiving with friends, where I had a chance to regroup before the next stretch of the journey. The day ended just how it should. Good food, good company, and a reminder of how much there is to be grateful for out here on the road. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.